Good afternoon, everyone. Will Dupree here in the KXAN live studio. We're about to bring you a video conference with the Williamson County Judge Bill Gravell. He's going to be talking about the latest on the response to COVID-19 that the county is offering. Earlier today, Williamson County announced that they're receiving $93 million through the CARES Act, which was one of the relief bills that Congress passed not too long ago and was signed into law by President Trump, providing billions in aid to local governments and other entities fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. Again, we're about to listen to Williamson County's update there as Williamson County Judge Bill Gravell is about to hold this press briefing and conduct it here shortly. We're going to listen in and bring that to you as soon as they have everything ready and set up there. It doesn't appear that everything is done at the moment, but I want to show you all where Williamson County's numbers for coronavirus stand at this point. If you take a look right here, Williamson County now has 287 confirmed positive cases of COVID-19. The county just said this morning that it currently has 8 people in the hospital fighting the coronavirus, and now more than 150 people have recovered, 155 to be specific. And we just found out as well that another person, a 7th person, has now died from COVID-19. Our reporter Alyssa Gord actually spoke to the family of this latest victim yesterday, doing a story about it, and then unfortunately found out from them that that person has now died. She's a woman in her 60s. We have a story about it on our website right now at kxan.com. They are testing the microphone right now as Williamson County Judge Bill Gravell is about to get started with this press briefing. As you can see, there are a lot of guests joining in on this call there at the bottom of the screen, different reporters from other entities. Our Williamson County reporter, Caitlin Carmoot, is listening into this, and she'll be covering this for us this evening here on KXAN. So let's take a listen as this gets started in Williamson County.
Afternoon, we have quite a bit of information that we would like to update you on. This morning, I believe, in our notice, we made you aware of our 7th fatality to COVID-19, and unfortunately, just a few moments ago, we had our 8th death as well too. And as county judge, I am heartbroken for the families and for their loss. We are striving to open up our community and our economy, and the reality is there are people that are struggling to survive. And so my thoughts and prayers as county judge go with those families. Today at Commissioner's Court, we were able to announce federal CARES Act funds that have been received by Williamson County. The dollar amount is just north of $93 million, and I would like to tell you a little bit about how that came about, and I certainly want to recognize those that have helped us. Early on, Senator John Cornyn and his senior staff communicated with us that as a county with a population of above 500,000 people, we could file directly for CARES Act funds instead of being reimbursed. In the past, Williamson County, as well as the smaller counties that are around us, the way you get federal reimbursement is through submitting paperwork and waiting on sometimes a really long time to get reimbursed for that. And they reimburse at a rate of 75%, and then the county would bear the 25%. What's exciting about the federal CARES Act funds, guys, it's a lot of money. And it's considerably more than the county has spent in this emergency. But what's impressive about the CARES Act funds, and we're still working through it logistically to understand that, but what's important to understand is that the county will be able to use those funds to assist other groups, organizations, and perhaps even local businesses. For example, one provision in the CARES Act funds for the county is we can reimburse anyone that is providing meals to our most precious population, for example, Meals on Wheels. So you're going to see the county work to reach out to the different groups and organizations and help them as we can. We did call a special session of Commissioners Court for this Friday, and I believe it is the intention of the court that we would, as soon as practicable, provide money to local businesses here in Williamson County. We're going to vote on those policies and procedures on Friday. But the reality is we have the money in our checking account, and that money does not help our people unless we can get it out to them. Now, as a Republican and a fiscal conservative, that's a lot of money. And you and I both know that it will be upon, I guess, my kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids to pay that off. But the opportunity to help our local businesses is really important to me as county judge. And I would say our commissioners court today was unanimous in that. It's really important for you to understand, though, that if it wasn't for Senator Cornyn and if it wasn't for my Congressman John Carter, we would have never got these funds. And so I personally want to say thank you to Congressman Carter and his staff and Senator Cornyn and his staff for helping us. We've never been down this road before, and they were incredibly gracious and kind. And in fact, Senator Cornyn and Congressman Carter, their staffs have been working very closely with us for the last many days. Today on the board is the 88th day since I first had a conversation about COVID-19, and it's been long. But the partnership at the federal and the state level has been really amazing. And I also want to say this too. I think Williamson County is in the best position to make decisions about how to use the money locally. I don't think those decisions are best made in Washington. I think they're best made here in Williamson County. And I deeply appreciate our U.S. Congressman John Carter and U.S. Senator John Cornyn for seeing that. And so I certainly want to say thank you to them. The amount of money was based upon population and being a county. By the way, you wonder, does the census ever make a difference? And the answer is for Williamson County, the census in 2010 made all of the difference during this disaster. So really grateful for those funds. And we have a team at court, Commissioners Court, that will be led by our treasurer, Scott Hesselmeyer, who's leading this task force to help us discover how we can best get those funds out. I'm also really excited to announce today some testing centers that will be available starting as soon as this Thursday here in Williamson County. One of the testing locations will be made available here locally and operated by Williamson County and Williamson County and Cities Health District. And we're really fortunate to be able to get that up and running. But as well today at Commissioners Court, we signed an agreement with a private company that is offered to provide testing for Williamson County at 3 or 4 different locations. And they've offered to do that free of charge. We would provide them the testing kits and then the PPEs for that. So I hope by Friday, or let's say Monday at the latest, that we could have as many as 4 different testing sites here in Williamson County. And we're really, really grateful for that. Our IT department has worked really hard in creating an online tool to be used for these assessments, and those locations are going to remain confidential, but if you get onto that site and go through the screening and they believe that you need to be tested, then they'll give you the time and the location of where to report to. As you know, the health department is currently investigating a cluster of individuals at a nursing home in Round Rock, And the numbers that I have here today is that there were 50 individuals within that nursing home, some of them being employees and some of them being residents that have tested positive for COVID-19. And the nursing facility, along with Williamson County and our health district, we're working really hard to support them. And I just want to be unequivocally clear. The most precious resource we have in Williamson County is our most vulnerable resource. It's our senior adults. And we will use any and all tools necessary and lawful to help our seniors when there's a problem. And we're working really hard to protect the lives of the individuals that are there. And in fact, we took the extraordinary step of testing every single resident and employee. And during the middle of the night, had those tests transported to our testing facility up in Denton, Texas. So that is a bit of an update of where we're at. Connie, did I miss anything?
I don't believe so.
Okay, good. So I think I have a few minutes for questions, and I apologize for being a little quick, but there are some urgent matters that we're dealing with here at the ESOC. Connie, are they going to ask questions out loud, or are they going to?
No, we're just going to, I'm going to ask them to type them in. And so we'll see if they have questions right now. Is there a second nursing home cluster being investigated?
There is a second nursing home that is currently being investigated, and the health district did an amazing job with the first facility and with this facility as well. If there's a problem, we will respond appropriately. Our senior adults, again, are our most precious resource, and we will use the reasonable means necessary to protect them. I would also say as well, too, that our number one goal as a county, and I shared that with you a few weeks ago, was to protect our nursing homes. And we, through the leadership of Dr. Palazzo at the Health District, she issued and we delivered some medical directives very early on. And that was really to kind of lock down and secure those facilities and make sure that they were using best practices. And so we took some really aggressive steps early on to protect this vulnerable population. And we're going to work really hard to keep them safe. I do want to say something that I think is important. The health district set up a team made up of some folks that went and was out checking on nursing homes. And the response team, actually one of our Williamson County paramedics who serves as the lead on that team, she was really the first one to discover that there might be a problem in Round Rock. And I have to tell you that I'm heartbroken at the number of folks that are ill. But I am grateful that a paramedic saw something and she said something. And it created an immediate response to protect lives. And even today, we have teams that are going to our nursing home and senior adult living facilities, making sure that they have all of the resources they need and asking probative questions. So I'm really grateful to that paramedic. Someday we'll recognize her, and she's just a hero.
Judge, how many tests does the county have stockpiled, and how many tests has the county conducted?
So I did see an email from our head executive director, and countywide there have been 3,800 tests, which would be public and private tests. The county currently is in possession of about 2,000 tests, but today at Commissioner's Court, we voted to purchase, I believe, another 3,500. And so I think we stand at about 5,500 tests currently, and those testing sites that will open tomorrow will be using those test kits. So we're moving swiftly to test folks.
Okay, do you have any more information on the second nursing home?
I do. Our health district is working tirelessly to protect our senior adults, and we're going to allow them to do their job to protect the individuals that are there so we can take the appropriate steps.
Okay, regarding the new rules for business opening, how does the county plan to handle enforcement of these new rules?
Well, let me say what's been amazing in Williamson County. We've not arrested anyone and we've not fined anyone. Williamson County's really complied really well. And my suspicion is that with the new rules, the county's going to continue to comply. And I'd like to give, if I could, a shout out to one community. One of the communities that I was worried about early on, and I'm still concerned about today, is our Sun City community. It has over 15,000 adults that live there, and early on, their homeowners association made the decision to shut down all of their clubs and pickleball and golf and several different things. And through my stay home, stay safe order, I actually wrote in there that the golf courses must remain closed. And daily we were evaluating those decisions. But here's the reality in Sun City with a population of 15,000 people. They're the smartest adults I know. And what we had is one confirmed positive case in Sun City that is already completely recovered. So this past Friday, I sent a letter to the Homeowners Association releasing back to them the authority to open and operate their golf course. And my point in the story very simply is this. We have really compliant folks. And look, we all want to get our businesses back opened, but we're still in the middle of an emergency and we have to protect lives.
Okay, so with the new testing capabilities, how many tests will Williamson County be able to do per week?
That is a great question. Our goal in totality is 6,000 tests, and I'm unsure at how long it will take us to get to that. But I'm really grateful that we're moving in that direction.
Okay. And then will you be comfortable going out to restaurants, retails, or movie theaters when they reopen on Friday?
Our businesses need to thrive, and it's going to take all of us some time to feel a level of comfort. I have to admit to you that when I leave emergency management, I wear my mask everywhere that I go. And even though we haven't mandated that in Williamson County, I would just strongly urge folks to, if they have it, to wear a mask. It's good for you and it's good to protect others. I think I'm going to be cautious. I want to patronize and support our local businesses, but I think like most Texans, we're going to support, but we're going to kind of tip our toe in the water in that effort. And so I have been supporting local businesses because we've been, I had a pizza today to go from a business down on the courthouse square. So we've done that. I just think I will be cautious when I go and sit in some place. I've seen the worst side of this, and I think it'd be cautious.
Okay. Do you know how accurate the current tests are?
Well, so they're the nasal swabs that are FDA approved, and they're the most reliant test that we have. But as far as the accuracy on that, I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. So just to clarify, as far as who can go to our testing sites, could you clarify the testing sites and how people sign up on the website?
Yeah, so you would go to the website. Connie, what's the website address?
It's the wcchd.org website right now.
Okay, so you would go to the wccd.hd.org, and any person that's a resident of Williamson County can get on there and begin to fill out the information. And as you go through there and answer those series of questions, It will direct you to whether you need to be tested or whether you don't need to be tested and when you need to reevaluate that. I'm really excited with what our IT department has built. We already have individuals scheduled for Thursday and Friday, and there's a lot of folks responding. So it's really quite easy to sign up. If you're symptomatic, it's pretty easy to sign up. And I would encourage every resident of Williamson County, and I want to make this clear, when you come to these testing sites, if you're tested, it will be free of charge. And Williamson County will bear the cost of that.
Okay. Any information on where nursing home is located and how many tests have been administered there? I believe that's for the second nursing home.
Sure, both nursing homes that I've referenced are located in Williamson County, and out of respect to those facilities, we're going to keep that confidential because they have protocols that they have to follow in notifying family and friends. In notifying families, and so we want to respect that process and allow them to do that. We also want to respect the process that we have a lot of personnel moving in and out of there to support them. And my suspicion is that as we continue to look, we may find other facilities, but our goal as a county is to be there to support and help those care facilities.
Okay. That appears to be all the questions that I have. Does Judge Gravell think it's too soon to be taking the reopening measures that the state is taking? And we can end with that question.
Yeah, and so that's the final question. And the question was, do I think it's too soon to begin the reopening? The answer is, I agree with the governor. And let me explain why. Because we're being really thoughtful in what we're reopening. And I don't know what you guys know, but any restaurant that I've been into, having 25% of the space occupied is not a lot of space. So that gives the room for people to expand out. So I think that was thought through really well, and I think it's really thoughtful. I also think the governor was very thoughtful about barbershops and beauty shops and nail salons. And listen, I'm just like the rest of you. I know I look a little raggedy, but it's the best I've got. And I think if we're just patient there, we will see some success. Now, with all of that said, what you need to be aware of is that the governor has completely closed the valve to senior care facilities and nursing homes. So what I'm trying to say is we've learned where the vulnerable population is. We have learned where it can be more harmful than helpful. And I think the moves have been very thoughtful. I think Texas is ready to open up, and then I think there are some folks that are frightful about it. And I think for all of us, it's going to take a little bit of time to adjust to the new norm. And I hope for you that the new norm involves a mask. And that you would make that personal decision to wear one. I don't wear a mask just for me. I wear it for the people that are around me that I care about. So I would encourage you to do the same thing. I want to thank you guys this afternoon. I need to step out because we're working on other matters, and today's Tuesday. So I hope you have a great Tuesday afternoon, and we'll see you again soon.
All right, everyone. Will Dupree once again here in the KXAN live studio. That was the conclusion of a video conference call. As you can see, reporters are starting to leave it right now. After that video conference wrapped up with Williamson County Judge Bill Gravell. Some of the things he announced, though, that we want to be able to share at this time are that they have just confirmed another death there. So 8 people have now died from COVID-19 in Williamson County. That latest one happening just before they came on to air, that they were able to share and confirm that information. So that is very unfortunate, tragic news to be able to pass along at this moment. He also wanted to discuss the $93 million that Williamson County will receive through the CARES Act, and that was the one of the largest relief bills that Congress passed and was signed into law by President Trump. $93 million coming to the county. They are going to be having a special meeting on Friday with the commissioners to talk about how to move forward and set the rules about how that money will be dispersed. What the judge did say is that this will eventually get to be able to help some of the different groups and organizations that are providing help to people right now affected by COVID-19 and the shutdowns that have happened ensuing from that. So we will have much more to cover on Friday. Of course, we will be doing that, so follow along with our reporting here on KXAN.com as that happens. He also said that the Williamson County Treasurer is going to lead the effort about dispersing that particular money. Once again, $93 million coming to Williamson County to help with its COVID-19 response from federal aid. Just wanted to highlight that one more time if you're just joining us. He also said, the county judge announced that there is going to be at least 4 different COVID-19 testing sites that will be open at least by Monday. That's when they'll all be online, hopefully by Monday. One will be publicly run by Williamson County and its health district, and then another 3 or potentially 4 will be done with a partnership with a private company to be able to do that. They're not sharing these particular locations because the testing sites are not open to everyone. You will need a referral to get there. The Williamson County judge said there will be an online form created, similar to what Austin and Travis County have done now, making that online so that people can go on, share their symptoms, and then if it's recommended that they go and get tested, then they can get that referral from that online form. So we'll, of course, keep following that too, because I don't believe it's online at this time in Williamson County. I could be wrong about that, and if I am, I will correct that and we'll put that out there as soon as we know. Another point that the county judge shared was that in addition to one cluster at a nursing home in Williamson County, this one in Round Rock, there is now a second nursing home now under investigation for a COVID-19 outbreak there. And they would not share the particular location of that. And we don't have much information to share about that, so we will keep asking questions. That will be something to follow along for sure, because a lot of people will be wondering if their facility, if they might know someone at one of those facilities in that area, if it's the one that's affected. So we don't have much to pass along about that in particular. I'm going back through my notes to see what new information I'm missing. And if you all have any questions, please don't feel free, I should say, to share that on our Facebook page. I'm monitoring the Facebook comments at the moment to see if there's anything that I should touch on. If anybody has anything that we'd like to look into, let us know. All right. I believe that'll do it for our stream at this moment. So once again, the big highlights there. Another person has been confirmed dead from COVID-19 in Williamson County. That makes 8 people in total now. And I want to see if I have this updated graphic to be able to pull up so we can show where that is, and I do. So if you take a look right here, this is where the situation stands within Williamson County. 287 people have confirmed positive cases. There are currently 8 people in the hospital. 155 people, though, have now recovered from it after being diagnosed. And now there you see, 8 people have died from coronavirus in Williamson County. Additionally, Williamson County has now received $93 million from the federal government to help with COVID-19 response. The commissioners will meet on Friday during a special meeting to talk about the rules that will guide how they disperse that money. The county treasurer will be in charge of doing that, to hand out the money, I should say. And then finally, a second nursing home is being investigated for a COVID-19 cluster. The first one was at a Round Rock care facility, and we've reported extensively about that. You can find a lot of resources on our website, some incredible work following that with our investigative team and other reporters looking into these situations at these care facilities. Once again, I'm Will Dupree here in the KXAN Live studio. Thank you so much for following along with our reporting. I'll direct you once again to our website, kxan.com, and the KXAN News app. Please download it. Lots of resources, lots of reporting and information there. Thanks again for watching, everybody. We'll see you back here another time. Please, everyone, stay safe and healthy, and if at all possible, still at home. Thanks, everybody.